Jesus. Love you, Jesus loves you. So, I thought I was saved, but I wasn't. Um, like, I went to church, read my Bible, prayed. I could feel God, like, especially at church with the worship music and also at home listening to worship music. And I would pray for stuff and I could feel God's presence. But then sometimes I would worry about dying or about hell or eternity. And but then I was like I thought I was a pretty good Christian. Like I thought I was saved. And the more like I read the book by John MacArthur, The Gospel According to Jesus, and the sequel, The Gospel According to the Apostles. And at first it scared me and I was thinking like, I don't feel like I know Jesus. But then I started to feel like, oh, I've read these books, I'm definitely a good Christian. I'm reading my Bible, all this stuff, but there was no atom bomb. There was no like nothing. There has to be an explosion in your life where everything changes and God. And I thought I was a Christian my whole life. Like even when I wasn't reading the Bible and wasn't following God in high school, I thought I was a Christian. But then I went to a Christian college. I wanted to go to a Christian college and I started reading the Bible and seeking after God. And I thought I was a good Christian. So when I wasn't following God in high school, I thought I was a Christian because I went to a Christian school. And then when I was seeking after God, reading the Bible, praying, I could feel God's presence. I thought I was a good Christian. So the point is you have to have boom, an explosion where God. Like if nothing major has happened in your life, like a single moment in time, a particular time when something huge happens and you realize that now you know God. First, you have to realize that you don't know God and it scares you to death, and you realize your whole life has been false. Like, that's how it was with me. I was worried what my family and what my friends would think. Like, oh, we thought he was a Christian and he never was a Christian. But it's better to realize that on earth than before the judgment seat of Christ. So, before the judgment. So, anyways, I realized I would have to start all over and just give everything to Jesus. And when I said, Jesus, from now on, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. And I gave my life to Jesus and proved it to the world by walking down the aisle. I didn't even say the sinner's prayer. I just said, Jesus, I give you everything, and walked to the front. And I turned my will over to God. And as soon as I got to the front, like I knew like something huge had happened. Like I had the God of the universe living in me. I had God. I knew God. I was like, God, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? Like immediately I started wondering, like, I have this brand new life. Like I knew I had this brand new life at age 26. I knew I had this brand new life and I wanted to do God's will. And it wasn't out of like, God, I'm thankful for you saving me, so I'm going to serve you. And it was out of like love for Jesus. And it was like rivers of living water coming forth from within me. Like the Gospel of John talks about rivers of living water coming forth from within you. As soon as I got saved, I wanted to do God's will. And I was talking to God all the time, like, God, what do you think about this or that? And I remember it was the same. It was the next day, that night, or the next day, or the next day. It was within a couple days. I was watching Friends on TV, or the TV show Friends on television, and something didn't feel right. And so I'm like, God, do you not want me to watch this? And the screen kind of went in and out, kind of blanked out. The television blanked out for a second. And I was like, that was weird. I was like, that was weird. God is working. And I'm like, how can I be sure that was God? So I said, God, if you don't want me to watch television, make the screen go out again. And it went like completely out for like a couple seconds. Like the screen went out. And I was like, okay. So I got up from my chair. I think my family was watching also, and I got up from the chair and went outside, and I spent the next like year or two outside listening to the radio, listening to Christian worship music. So um and it was hard, but it was like amazing at the same time. Uh, so anyways, I was like all about God's will. Like, if you don't want me to watch television, or if you, whatever you want me to do, God, like, thank you for saving me. Like, this is amazing. I love you, Jesus. It was just like, it was like I was in love with Jesus, and I just wanted to do whatever he wanted me to do. Uh, and it's still the same. Like I've got to be awake and alert and ready for Jesus to come back, and ready for what Jesus wants me to do. And so, anyways, so I just wanted to share that. Like, I thought I was saved. Uh, for 26 years of my life, I thought I was saved, and then I realized I wasn't. Um, like, even though like I said, I was like not following God, but I thought I was saved because I hung out with Christians, so I thought I was saved. And I went to church, but then I really got serious, really got serious about God, reading his word, reading the Bible, praying. I could feel God's presence. He would answer prayers. Like, I could feel God on me, and I'm like, I'm saved, but like I wasn't. And I had a dream I went to hell, scariest thing ever. Anyways, the point is, make sure you're saved, and it's when you surrender your will completely to Jesus. Love you, Jesus loves you. Jesus.